Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for Game 3 of Group B for the SKL Qualifiers. This will be against the LandBeforeTime versus Thunder Ducks on the purple side. So, first band coming out, Fiddlesticks, kind of an oddball band there, and Azir as well. Ari coming out for the LandBeforeTime. I mean, they were up against that last game, I believe. Not something fun to deal with. Evelyn coming out for purple side. I mean, just a pretty great pick still all around. So we're going to have to wait and see what the third ban is going to be for blue side. But all in all, I mean, no team really showed some cards here. Still standard picks across the board. Might be expecting some of these new juggernauts to be banned, like you know, the Skarner, Darius, as well as Garen. I mean, they're all decently good right now. Skarner probably the biggest threat. Gnar ban coming out. I mean, we have seen it in both games. Those are some game-changing ultimates, and there's the Skarner ban. First pick, immediate lock-in, Lulu.
Yeah, Lulu actually being a contested pick so far in this bracket. I believe been picked every game so far. They are going to take it away. They're going to lock in the Sivir Alistair, going with that classic Sivir comp here. We're going to have to see. I don't believe they did run the Sivir last game as well. And they did quite well in a lane that they weren't supposed to. We'll have to see if the Nunu actually comes down, if they're going to play another Protect the Trist comp with maybe a little more muscle in there, adding that attack speed steroid onto her. Hasn't been quite locked in yet, but we're going to have to see if they do stick with that. Tristan actually having a great game. The Olaf actually coming through was banned last game. Very strong pick, especially with that Lulu. You pop that Ragnarok, nothing can actually CC you. You run straight through.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, a Nunu in the hands of a really good jungler who's got some great map presence, he can be a really big threat to some of the new junglers like the new Devourer ones or any of those types that are pretty farm dependent. So we're going to have to see if that's going to get locked in. The Olaf does go through. Going to be a top lane Olaf almost certainly if this Nunu is coming through. It's a very strong solo laner right now, especially with some of these new items. You can build him tanky, but he still does a lot of damage. Still, he has a lot of 1v1 potential as well as a lot of team fight potential with that Ragnarok. He's able to dive those carries in the back line. I mean, you can't really spell shield you dying, so gonna have to see what the final picks come in for the LandBeforeTime to round out that comp they have there with the boost the ADC looking to be the popular choice. Maokai being hovered for Thunder Ducks here. Probably going for just some more frontline. They got an Alistar already. The Maokai will be nice as well. Just provide a lot of tankiness to peel for that front line, or the back line rather. The Alistar, I mean, he's always going to be one of the best peelers in the game with that headbutt, with the Pulverize, going to be able to just knock people up, knock them back. Victor being picked up, it looks like, here as well in the mid lane. Still a pretty strong pick, it seems, from the way priority is going. Ooh, and we might see the Hecarim come out once again for Metaphor. He was able to do a lot of work last game with that one.
Yeah, it does pick it up. Taeyong knowing this matchup too well, the Lulu versus the Victor. He was definitely on the better side of it, except for that early 1v1. We'll have to see how he fares in this matchup. But Hecarim pick up after that quadra kill last game. We're going to have to see if they're going to try and focus him down and definitely not try and let him get as far ahead. We're going to have to see what they're going to go for their AD carry pick. They do have a lot of ways to get to that AD carry, but they also have a lot of peel. The Braum would be a very good pick. Keeping whatever AD carry they do pick. They might lock in the Vayne here. Would be a very good pick against the Alistair. Common pick against the Sivir. Very tempted to see if this actually does get locked in. Would be very good for the team comp. You can't really get out of the onslaught of shadows, but Vayne has a lot of mobility, can get herself around. They might change to the Jinx here, and gonna end up on the Tristana, it looks like. Switches to the Kog'Maw last second.
So, I mean, that Kog'Maw, that's a pretty risky pick into the comp they have built so far. I mean, with that Hecarim, he's going to be able to dive you. Kog'Maw is not known for his mobility. I mean, the sludge he's going to be able to spit out there, he's going to be able to slow you down a little bit. But, I mean, with the Sivir, with the almost certain like speed-up items that are going to be coming out, not a lot you're going to be able to do that to get that Hecarim off of you in that back line. Not a lot of peel coming out for him either, just with the Braum, looks like. And Gangplank locked in for Beastness in the top lane. Or, oh yes, okay, oh, thank goodness. So Beastness is going to be pulling out the first gangplank of the qualifying matches. So we are going to be seeing how these turn out. And just so you guys know, LandBeforeTime and Thunderducks are automatically going to be going towards part 2 of the qualifiers. So this game pretty much is just to decide which one's going to be going in his first place, which one's going to be going in his second place. So going to be an interesting game here. We're going to see how it pans out with some interesting picks coming in with the Gangplank, with the Kog'Maw, with the Olaf. So we're going to have to see which team's able to get those early game advantages, really push those carries into the late game.
Yeah, I think we're about to see a clash of titans here. We're going to have to see if LandBeforeTime can play the Protect the AD Carry comp again as well as they did, but against a team who just beat the team they beat. But with that Gangplank, a lot of damage coming through. We're going to have to see if the Sivir comp is enough to pull them through. We'll be straight back after we take a quick break during this delay.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SK League qualifying tournament. We are in Bracket B with LandBeforeTime versus the Thunder Ducks. As you can see in the pick and ban, we got some interesting champions coming in this game. We got a Gangplank with the captain skin, so he's obviously played it at least one time before. As well as we got the Olaf coming off in the top lane for the first time today. And I mean, just all around good comps. I don't know if you guys would have tuned in earlier today to see some of these other players in previous games. But Metaphor, he did have a very good game on the Hecarim, so kind of excited to see what he does with it again this game, whether he goes again for the full damage build or if he's going to go for something a little more team focused. So we'll have to wait and see here.
Yeah, both teams also having very different early game strats. We had the double jungle coming in from from Thunder Ducks in the first game, having their top laner pretty much take all the damage, letting Metaphor farm up as much as possible. Whereas we look at LandBeforeTime doing the early level 1 5 or 4-man dive on that turret, having the 5th man come up. We'll have to see if there's any shenanigans that go on this game or if they're going to go for a standard start. I think the GP might go with Metaphor again. We'll see if Business and Metaphor tag team the jungle, taking a lot of damage and then going top lane. Nunu very efficient by himself, but if Olaf gives him that lead, he definitely can go into the jungle and harass Metaphor, kind of slowing him down.
No, yeah, so it looks like Gangplank is probably just going to be leashing the Krugs here, helping out the Metaphor, so we're going to have to wait and see if he actually does end up going for a full jungle clear with Hecarim here to get him good and started on his way, getting a good level advantage as well as that experience advantage again like he did last game. He was up quite a bit of CS on the opposing jungler, so we're going to have to wait and see how that one pans out again for him. So again, we just got another Lulu and Victor matchup here. So again, earlier on, that's going to go very much in the way of Lulu, especially with those nerfs to the Hex core for Victor. So not going to be a lot of damage coming in from those lasers, as he did start laser this time, not the Q. He's going more for a little bit of an early poke, as Gangplank's taking a lot of damage, and in comes Nunu, hoping to get the smite steal here, and he might actually get it. And he gets the consume, takes the red buff away from the Hecarim. Good invade from the Nunu.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, just Nunu being very efficient. I'm surprised he actually didn't go for the kill, but we're going to have to see. The last auto does pick up the kill on Sivir. Great CC there. And that's a first blood for LandBeforeTime, but like we were saying, Nunu, a very strong jungler, can clear very quickly, giving him that leash. He's able to just go in there and didn't even smite, he just walked up and consumed it, which is probably better, but he didn't go for the kill. He must have had Blood Boil and Consume, I imagine, hitting that level 2. But great invade there, first blood for LandBeforeTime. So far, things going well, and once again, a 1,000 gold lead within the 4 minutes.
No, yeah, I mean, denying Hecarim that red buff off the bat is definitely going to hurt his clear. I mean, both of the top laners are now in the top lane. Olaf was there the whole time. Gangplank was helping out with that clear, but he got very, very low, so he had to back and then, you know, TP up to his tower. And he's going to be getting those barrels going, but his timing there, so he's not going to quite get the harass off that he wants. As Olaf is getting a decent lead in this top lane, but as expected, just because GP was helping with that initial clear. So we're going to have to wait and see how that top lane pans out a little bit later into this game. Still pretty early to tell.
We're going to see. Last time he did put him behind, but they had the jungler kind of run around Metaphor, doing a lot of work for his lanes, but now he is behind. We'll have to see if he's able to make up for it. They're putting a lot of damage there. We're going to have to see how he's going to be able to fare against this Olaf. The Victor Lulu matchup, Taeyong on the opposite end of it, we're going to have to see. So far, he's farming pretty even. We're going to have to see if he's going to go. I do know that it is a little bit favored for Lulu before the nerf, probably more now after so. But going to try and hold off in there. Hecarim going to sit top lane, but going to go B. Oh, they might go in here. Waiting in the bush. Gangplank putting down some damage onto the Olaf. Hecarim just kind of waiting there. So they're going to go B now. A lot of trading going on bot lane here. Kog'Maw with that first blood definitely going to help him get that Triforce earlier, assuming he will go with the standard Triforce Blade build. We do see Nunu just going to kind of power farm it out.
No, yeah, so I mean, Hecarim did waste a lot of time sitting in that bush waiting for the gank to come off, but he never ended up getting a good opportunity, so just ends up backing, getting that challenging smite, and he's going to head back into his own jungle. As Nunu just kept on farming there, as it looks like he's actually going to go for this dragon. He's soloing it out, as a lot of harass is coming onto the Alistar, just with that Kog'Maw range, with the Braum Q. able to tank quite a bit of the harass back himself. So good trade in terms of Land Before Time, landing all the skill shots they kind of need to. But I really hope this Nunu is going to just sneak this dragon out without much contest. But a good engage on from Thunderducks here, as they're just going to back off here Land Before Time, not wanting to kind of follow up the Braum stun.
Yeah, bot lane actually just putting down a lot of good aggression, keeping the bot lane away from going to check the dragon so that Nunu could solo it and get it without really being in harm's way. The Hecarim could have come and shown, but putting down a lot of pressure, keeping the attention away, and Kog'Maw still out farming that Sivir while getting a fair amount of trade-off. That lane is going very well for them, as Kog'Maw will massively outscale the Sivir as the game goes on. Once he hits that Triforce, he starts doing a lot of damage. We'll have to see if he can hold out this Gangplank Olaf lane. Gangplank starting to keep pretty even here with the Olaf, but once Olaf hits 6, we'll have to see if he's going to go onto the GP, get himself an advantage. Caladir taking a lot of damage from those barrels, though. GP already getting those crits off, and they do start kind of dueling it out. GP eating an orange, it's K, wins the trade. We'll have to see if bot lane there's going to be any action here. Is mid lane just kind of a stale farm fest?
No, yeah, I mean, that Gangplank, he was placing the barrels very smartly. He's able to connect them, so he was able to get the timers down on the ones that are farther in the back and just be able to pop that one, get the harass off onto the Olaf, and able to force him back here, as he's going to pick up the Ninja Tabi to hopefully deter some of that damage off the bat. As it looks like some pings are coming out in the bot lane asking for some assistance for Land Before Time. Seems like they might feel the strain of the Sivir boomerangs, and the Alistar just zoning them out here. Not quite landing the Winter's Bite, but Nunu is looking like he's making his way towards mid lane, hoping to maybe you know, just hold off the lane as Lulu is going to back here.
Yeah, Land Before bot lane actually playing this very, very well. Just freezing the lane, kind of keeping Sivir away from it as her wave clear. She's almost down 30 CS. They do get the concussive blow stacks pop using the Winter's Bite there, but not enough to fully take him down. But putting so much pressure onto this Sivir, I don't know if they're going to be able to stay underneath the turret once it gets there. But as you look, yeah, almost a 30 CS discrepancy at 7 minutes. Pulsus not exactly having the success he had against that Caitlyn, as it looks like Land Before Time putting a lot more pressure on these two than last game.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, those concussive blow stacks, they're almost going to try and get them here. As the GP ult comes out, wow, Hecarim is here in the right place at the right time. They were able to knock back that Kog'Maw. Beautiful, beautiful play from Metaphor, being there, all planned, all calculated. Great play from Thunderducks there, able to just make it when it counted. And GP, they were all over that communication. That ult came in at the perfect time as well.
Oh, beautiful flash pull combo from Devmaster J, and then using the headbutt to knock him back into turret. On top of that global GP ulti, there's really no way you could have expected that, but great damage. Hecarim actually also picking up an assist, kind of flying by there. And just great kind of counter gank, as Sivir definitely needed to get rid of that pressure. Would have been nice for the kill, but honestly, take gold where you can get it at this point. Have to see if Olaf's going to try and punish GP for using that ulti bot lane, but so much damage coming from those barrels with only just a sheen. It's only going to get scarier for Olaf, as CC's not really going to mean much, as GP's not really packing much CC in his kit.
No, yeah, I mean, he's not packing much CC, but he just takes a little bit to kind of get going. So once he's going to finish up that Triforce, or even if he gets the Phage and the Sheen in level 9, he's going to be able to clear those waves with just the barrels, and he's going to be racking up a lot of gold with his passives there, and it's just going to get a little out of control after that point. So yeah, he either just needs the Triforce or there. But Flash Snowball from the Nunu going in on the Victor, but he's not going to be able to do much there, as it looks like he's going to pop the ult, and they're just going to back off a little bit. That zoning is going to do a lot, as the Lulu ult comes out onto the Nunu. Going to be just smacking him on the head there, but the laser's coming out. Hecarim ult comes in over the wall as the Lulu ult falls off the Nunu, and he's just going to be running out of there with the Blood Boil, just speeding his way out.
Yeah, Ignite is popped to try, but really just kind of a stalemate there. Nobody going down, but great kind of trade-off. They did burn the flash from the Nunu for both summoners on Victor. Not having to be as afraid this game, as Nunu doesn't exactly have the biggest gank potential. Can slow you to infinity, however. With Lulu speed ups, they might be able to take him down. But Olaf really starting to put a lot of pressure on this top lane. Does rush the Ninja Tabbies. Maybe going to look for some TP plays with his Ghost. But we're going to have to wait till something opens up on the map for him to be able to make those global plays.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, Sivir is going to be a little bit more behind now, too. She also did pick up the double Doran's Blade, so it's going to be pushing her her gold back a little bit farther, just going with the pickaxe, as Kog'Maw is going for that Triforce. So, I mean, he's going to hit that spike pretty quick here, as he's up quite a bit of CS. So we're going to have to wait and see who can hit the Triforce first. GP with his gold passive as well, or Kog'Maw just with his CS advantage. So, I mean, that's really going to be a determinant of who's going to win this early game, whichever one can get those Triforces first.
Yeah, very surprised Sivir didn't actually go for the Aberrus Blade, just trying to farm out, get that extra passive gold as she pushes out, go towards the static shiv, help her shove the waves back as she is kind of far behind, about 700 gold. It may put her build a far behind, but at least she'd catch up in gold, make herself useful. She has the ulti for team efficiency. As you can see, Kog'Maw with that Sheen really just pushing her out. Spell shields the Winter's Bite, but this bot lane putting a lot of pressure down, and with Nunu there, they might look to take the turret. However, Hecarim is waiting off in behind. We'll have to see if he's ready to onslaught of shadows over the wall. He does have the flash engage available. His ulti just about off cooldown. We'll have to see if Victor or Lulu make their way down here. But a big creep wave heading towards that turret. Just gonna have to wait here in anticipation. Putting some damage down. We do see the E-pop, Sivir ulti pop. Onslaught of Shadows doesn't connect with really anyone. A lot of damage coming through though. The Braum ulti kind of slowing them all. Double TP coming down. Olaf using the Ragnarok, chasing down the exhausted Sivir. He doesn't want to dive the turret. However, the GP and the Alistar do take down the Kog'Maw. The Pulverize does knock 2 up. Headbutts the Olaf into his AD carry who doesn't have flash, and they do take him down. The Lulu ulti is enough to get the Olaf out. Victor shows up late to the party. And after all of that, we see a trade for the AD carry kills. Alistar kind of sewering his own AD carry, headbutting the Olaf into the low health, no flash Sivir. But kind of a nutty fight. Both TPs used, a lot of damage, a lot of summoners. Great fight. We're going to have to see if that's going to affect when the next dragon's taken.
There's just a huge fight there, very extended, but not a lot of advantage gained either way. I mean, it was just a trade for the 80 carries, but I mean, Kog'Maw's still going to have that big advantage in the CS there. He's up a little over 20 CS, but I mean, also teleport burned on GP there, but also on Olaf, so I mean, even trade there. But looking for the drag now on the blue team, as it doesn't look like anyone from red side is really there to, you know, contest that at all. Hecarim was on the wrong side of the map, but he's looking to make his way there, maybe to catch the tail end of this as the bot lane is moving up as well. But blue team is going to take the dragon, and they're just going to try and run out of here after that. Just a snowball, just to kind of warning shots there, just, you know, showing them who's boss. As a good trade's coming in here, but missing the axe, so they're just going to back off. Just clearing out some vision right now.
Yeah, LandBeforeTime quickly sneaking in there and grabbing that dragon. Well, they did get detected, but there wasn't really anything that Thunder Ducks could do about it. No TPs available. They couldn't call down their top laner. Not really looking for a fight, as a lot of summoners were used in that bot lane fight. And honestly, I feel like all these bot lane fights are really hurting Sivir more than they're helping Thunder Ducks. She is so far behind. I mean, luckily her ulti is used more just as a utility for the team. It doesn't matter how farmed she is. But this Kog'Maw is just pushing his advantage harder and harder, and he is someone who scales very well and had to be very careful about. With that Olaf on the LandBeforeTime, he is going to be running straight through the Alistar, straight through the Hecarim, right onto their AD carry and their Victor, and there's really nothing they're going to be able to do about it.
It's just going to get very crazy if they don't lend a lot of hand. Oh, good engage coming in here as the junglers are both happen to be here at the same time. Nunu all coming out as we got kills both onto the AD carries. Traded again, but it looks like LandBeforeTime is taking the most damage out of this one here as they have to run back to the turret as Thunder Ducks. Great counter gank here from Metaphor, but yeah, both junglers happen to be in the right place at the right time in order to kind of try and make a play. But again, just a 1-for-1 trade on the AD carries there. Again, probably more of a hindrance than a help towards the Sivir. She's just getting denied the XP in the bot lane, as well as just the gold. She's down over 1,000 gold now, so Kog'Maw is going to just be able to bully her out of that lane from here on out, I think.
Yeah, just really rough. He picked up the kill onto the Sivir, and once again, she only picks up an assist. Kog'Maw sitting at almost 1,000 gold over the Sivir. The item advantage, we're looking at Triforce to the Aberrus Blade pickaxe. It might be a little late for that Aberrus Blade to use to efficiency, but at least he'll still get passive gold to pull himself slowly back into this game. He has the ulti. They're putting a lot of resources in the bot lane. However, top and mid, still just kind of a stalemate, just frozen. They're just farming out. A lot of attention on this bot lane, and honestly, the gold's only about a 200 gold difference, but there's a Sivir who is very far behind. We'll have to see the Gangplank barrels. Chaining them in the bush are doing a lot of damage. They did have vision of it. But here we go once again. The Kog'Maw and Braum just pushing the Sivir Alistar out. And it doesn't seem like the ganks are really helping. It's just keep putting her behind. They got to see if they can make a play on mid lane. Got to try and make a play on top lane. Try and get something going somewhere else, because helping this Sivir is really not doing anything. And this team really needs to get going.
No, yeah, I mean, putting the Sivir farther behind is not going to be helping. That GP doing a ton of damage with those barrels. I mean, they ignore lots of the armor, so the Ninja Tabi's not going to be actually helping a lot for the Olaf there. And it looks like Olaf's actually opting towards a damage item versus going for a defensive item. So he's just going to be taking a lot of damage from this GP, who I feel like is going to end up taking control of this lane once he actually goes back and gets that Triforce. Able to get those Sheen procs, able to get some crit built into there, and it's just going to do a lot of damage as Hecarim is here waiting. Oh, Ragnarok popped, but I don't know if it's going to be enough as the Metaphor pops his ult and he's able to get the kill onto Olaf. But some trading in the bot lane here as Sivir's still getting very low, but it looks like Taeyang here is going to actually try and claim the mid tower as he's just pushing out the wave very fast onto this Lulu, really just getting that gold advantage too, as he's actually pretty far ahead in the gold as well.
Yeah, to our surprise, there is actually a mid lane in this game, and Victor has almost taken that turret. Haven't seen much. There's been a lot of farming, and Nunu trying to take this blue buff. Does ult, trying to keep everyone away from it. Victor does laser, but Nunu is in a rough spot. It's a very low Sivir. The rest of the team collapsing. GP actually does TP down into a very bad spot. They take him very low. The late TP from the Olaf. Victor putting down a lot of damage on the Lulu. She still has wild growth available, but the rest of LandBeforeTime coming to help the Lulu. She's at 1 health, still has that wild growth, but gonna walk out. They do land Winter's Bite. He flashes away. The stun does land onto the Braum. We'll have to see if he can combo him, gets him very low, but the Olaf is there to keep his buddy protected. And after a lot of fighting, nobody goes down, but a lot of low health fires and a lot of summoner spells used.
No, yeah, again, I mean, those fights, they are really just pushing Sivir out of lane. Kog'Maw's still there, just farming up 123 to 80. He's over 40 CS up on the Sivir. I mean, he's finished his Triforce, and Sivir isn't even sitting on a BF sword yet. She's got the Avarice Blade and the pickaxe. So, still, it's going really rough for the Sivir. I mean, I don't know what else they're really going to try and do, because she's not really a threat right now, so I feel like Olaf is actually going to be trying to dive that Victor, who's really the one ahead in this game in terms of the solo laners. GP finished up his Triforce, so now he's going to be able to just clear the waves pretty fast here. Metaphor's just looking for a gank, but he finds a ward, so he's just going to clear that out. All in all, pretty slow paced as of right now, just you know, looking to farm up a little bit, get their item spikes, and then they'll end up fighting.
Yeah, we do see Dragon here coming up in about 30 seconds. Alistar going in with a headbutt pulve, I think, just to kind of get him off the turret, but they're returning a lot of damage back. They probably will pick up this turret, rotate to Dragon, but I'm very curious if Thunderducks are going to try and contest this Dragon, or if they're just kind of going to leave it. Oh, we do see the flash pulve. Does headbutt back as Hecarim is here. The challenging smite comes out. Does use the devastating charge to take him out. Will Sivir be able to get away? Does use the flash. Gets away from the Catherine surprise. A lot of trading going on top lane, but not a lot of killing. Just kind of wet noodle fighting. They are unsuccessful in keeping that bottom turret up, however. But with Dragon up, they do have the man advantage as that Kog'Maw is dead. But it's very, very risky to try and do a Baron with a Nunu hanging around.
Yeah, I mean, as well as that, Sivir got chunked out extremely hard, so she's not going to be able to stick around too much, I don't think, for the kills or the dragon or anything like that. So she should be getting around here. GP going in for the fight here, as he might actually get this with the parlay. Nope, Ragnarok's going to be popped. Olaf's going to get out of there. GP did just get 500 Silver Serpents, so he's going to be able to go back and he's going to be able to upgrade that ultimate of his. Whether he's going to go with the Death's Daughter for the true damage or the Raise Morale. But we're going to have a fight around Dragon here as Nunu's going to pop the ult. Metaphor goes in with the Onslaught of Shadows. Victor's going to get the stun and the Chaos Storm, but not going to be able to clean anyone up with that, as the Thunderducks are just going to peel off of Dragon, and it looks like LandBeforeTime, with a good pickup there on the Victor, are just going to be able to claim this one uncontested after that.
Yeah, objective control, very important when you have a Nunu on your team, and LandBeforeTime doing it very well. At 20 minutes, they already have the 3 dragon. Very scary. You have the Kog'Maw who's going to scale into that late game, but on the other side, you have this Victor who's only died once. He's farmed very well. He's going to start getting bigger and bigger as the game goes on. GP finally finishing that Triforce. Probably going to head towards an Infinity Edge or Static Shiv next, and he's going to be doing a ton of poke damage as well. We'll have to see if this Protect the AD carry comp is going to be enough to survive the burst that Thunderducks are going to bring out later towards the game.
So, Sivir just picked up her BF sword, and Kog'Maw just got a Cutlass on top of the Triforce he already had. So GP ult's going to be coming out on this Nunu, but he's just going to pop Bud Boil and run right out of there. But GP did go with the CDR boost, so he's going to get a lot more parlays off, a lot more oranges, a lot more barrels. So all in all, it's pretty good because the parlay's on a very short cooldown, so you're going to be able to farm a lot more efficiently with that. As well as your barrel cooldown is very nice to have. Up as often as you can, as those do stack on top of one another, so you can have them kind of on cue, ready to go. His advantage is coming out a little bit more strongly as well, as he's up around 20 CS on the Olaf, but melee to melee, I'd say this advantage is pretty normal in terms of which one is stronger. But yeah, I mean, this Kog'Maw, he's really just he's doing work. I mean, this is the story of the game right now. Whether they can protect that carry in the back line with the Hecarim, who is going with the Challenging Smite and the Black Cleaver, still going for a lot of damage. So, I mean, can they keep him alive long enough for him to be able to take over is the real question.
Yeah, Thunderduck's really riding on the back of Metaphor again, who is 2-0-3, looking quite big. He has the damage. He is looking for this gank up top, but Olaf is in the bot lane. They might be able to just pick up the turret, but I'm going to see if he can do what he can until Kog'Maw and Nunu get there. Have to see. They aren't going to make it there in time, but they might be able to turn this into a kill. Oh, the turret does stand. They are afraid. The Braum flexing his muscles, scaring him off. Have to see Lulu with the blue buff. Going to be able to wave clear for a long time, keeping that Victor away from getting that turret as it is low. Nunu popping the ult. Questionable ulti just to clear the wave. Definitely just going to try and pick up the turret, though. Do what they can. And they do pick it up, however. Easy turret. Unfortunately, Gangplank not able to pick that up, but trading with that barrel damage. And I have to say, Business has had some very, very nicely placed barrels, getting that double barrel combo off.
No, yeah, for sure. But I mean, Kog'Maw is also able to trade back pretty well, chunking GP down to half before he's even able to, you know, bite into one of those oranges. And Victor is going to get that mid tower, as his lasers are going to be doing around half the health onto the Lulu. So, I mean, she's getting chunked out. She's going for that Zeke's Harbinger as well, so she's going really to boost that Kog'Maw even further. They're really just going, again, for support the ADC comp with the Nunu, with the Lulu, and the Braum for the peel. And then the Olaf's just kind of nice to dive that backline, keep their carries at bay while you're able to just take down their front line. Yeah, so great play so far from both teams, but I mean, LandBeforeTime really just gaining the advantages. I mean, it's close in kills, but those objective controls, 3 towers to 1, 3 dragons to 0. That's what's really equating for this gold lead that they're really grabbing up here, and it's steadily growing more and more as they are pushing their advantages.
Yeah, I think the teamfights are really going to have to rely on the initiation that they're able to pick up on the Thunderduck side. If they're able to get a good GP ult followed by an onslaught of shadows, try and get the fear, and then burst either Lulu or Kog'Maw before they're able to react, they could definitely turn a fight in their favor. It's still a very close game despite the objectives so far. It's only not even 1,000 gold difference between the two teams. It's really anyone's game at this point. Very slow paced, a lot of farm, but the teams have been playing very careful, as we do see Kog'Maw with the Lulu shield and the speed up. Couple autos chunking the Victor to under half health. And this is where the Kog'Maw gets very scary. Triforce and Blade of the Rune King. Oh, the ulti by Nunu is popped. They do quickly cancel it. The ignite might be enough. It is enough to take him down. The Kog'Maw very low. He does use Blade of the Rune King. Alistair being a real bro and headbutting him out of the fight. Concussive blows onto the GP. Can they pop the stacks? He has one more left. Not able to get it. And the stun by the Victor very well. And the pulverize there by Alistair canceling the Nunu ulti. And Thunderducks, perfect right there. They kind of engage they're looking for to really keep themselves ahead. And might look to do Baron here. They are very low. I don't know if they can do it or maybe just put some vision down.
No, yeah, I mean, Metaphor is on his way in here, so it might just be more of a bait than anything else, as everyone was pretty low after that fight, but Metaphor is going to be the first one back, as Nunu just spawned, so they're looking to probably claim this one here, as, oh, wow, Kog'Maw is pretty low to be hanging out here, but they are going to pick up the kill on Alistar, as, wow, the flash onslaught of shadows. Kog'Maw, I mean, that was a pretty bold to be hanging out around there for long, but looks like they're going to be picking up more than just that on the tail end. As Olaf going hard, going to try and land an axe here just to pick up the victor, but just pretty extended fights in here as well, as Metaphor is going to try and just run out of here because he's a horse. But, I mean, Nunu, Blood Boil, and the Whimsy are going to be able to track him down as well. So it looks like they're going to push up this mid lane just with those three champs here, but yeah, other than that, that was a very, very extended fight. Very strange. So, as well as if you can look at the waves, I mean, they have them in a pretty particular spot in terms of the Thunderducks. So, I mean, they're not in any real danger here just because the mid lane's pushed back out. Top wave is kind of pushing down towards the inner turret, as well as the tier 2 turret, or tier 1 turret, sorry, on the boss side is also getting pressured by the minion wave. And they're just going to pick up drag off this.
Yeah, the minion wave is in a very good spot for Thunderduck. Someone has to go deal with both of them. Olaf using TP to get to that Baron fight, and this is actually a perfect time for Thunderducks to pick up their first dragon. Delaying that 5th dragon, I mean, it's 26 minutes in. You definitely don't want to give them the pretty much 32-minute possibility, 5 stacks of dragons. We do see the Harbinger being built on the Lulu, that Kog'Maw now being able to just pump out those crits. It doesn't have the Infinity Edge yet to put it to good use, but Thunderducks making some very, very good plays here. Unfortunately, maybe going for Baron a little too much. They do get caught out, but picking up that dragon, really the most important, getting that stat boost, pulling themselves slowly ever more just into the lead a little bit, up about 700 gold now, just swinging between the 700 gold. We're going to have to see if they can deter this push again with another great engage.
No, yeah, I mean, Thunderducks did a great job of getting that gold back in their favor, as they were down quite a bit before, but just picking up some good fights with the Hecarim there. He's able to get 303 now, so he's doing a lot of work again. He's being a real carry for the team here. As the DP alt Wombo combo comes down from the Victor, putting out a lot of damage. Kog'Maw's out of the fight right away as Metaphor just comes in, putting out a lot of damage here as the team Sivir alt gonna help them catch up to the team, but just a lot of slows coming in, so not gonna be able to do much. They're looking towards Baron right now.
And there we go. That's exactly what we're talking about. These great engages. Can they pop one of the targets before the Lulu ulti goes off? And they did. The Onslaught of Shadows going through. They catch them with the GP ult to slow them down, get themselves in there. The Victor getting his stun in there and popping that Chaos Storm. We're going to have to see. There's a lot of contest going on to Baron here. Great headbutt pulse combo. The Victor stun not being able to catch anyone, but Lulu and Nunu doing a great job keeping them off of Baron. But it might cost Lulu her life here. The ulti is not available, nor is Flash. Maybe going to try and make herself die to the turret, not giving over any gold. Does get executed, but does the best she can for her team, keeping them off of Baron.
No, yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about, just denying Baron to the other team there, as they did. That would have been a good pickup for them on the backside of that fight. The Hecarim was still at full health, so I mean, he was more than willing to tank that up. And I mean, he's pretty tanky so far with just the Cinderhulk, the Black Cleaver, and a Giant's Belt he's sitting on. Got quite a bit of HP, so he's just going to back now. Probably get that the pickaxe into something more, as he does like damage. So we're going to see if what that turns into here. Olaf gonna back to. He did pick up his. He's going for a defensive item now, so probably going for more armor. Even though the GP does usually ignore the armor with his barrels, well, not completely, but a good amount of it. As yeah, like we said before, he's gonna be going towards that Infinity Edge.
Yeah, this GP doing a lot of work for his team. Once he gets to the Infinity Edge, a lot more damage coming through. His ulti has been proved to be useful. Slowing them down here. Not really looking for an engage. Maybe just trying to deter them from going for that turret until the rest of the team gets there. But as you can see, there's a lot of vision priority in this jungle now that those tier 1 turrets are down. Someone either trying to get a pick or a disengage, keeping themselves safe while defending their turrets, or LandBeforeTime looking for a play here. Nunu going in for the snowball, letting him know he's here in the lane. They're gonna try and keep pushing down this mid lane. hasn't been very fortunate for them in the last 2 engages. Throw in third time's a charm. The flash pull headbutts the Kog'Maw into the back line. The Lulu ulti does go out. He isn't able to take anyone down. Metaphor getting the kill. The Olaf in the back line does get the victor, but they do return the kill. They're still chasing down. 3 people down on Land Before Time. Lulu running as fast as she can. Does use the help picks to shield herself. Does have the whimsy to get away. Nunu running away with Blood Boil. And it's a 3 for 1. Another great engage by Thunderducks, and they might actually be able to take Baron this time.
No, yeah, I mean, not a lot of damage able to contest this Baron here. It looks like the Alistar still wanting to just, you know, force this Lulu off of that. But, I mean, these fights, they're so explosive. It's just everything happens at once. You got the Nunu ult, you got the Victor ult, you have the Onslaught of Shadows, the GP ult. It's just a lot happening at once. Thunderduck's going to pick up Baron here. Great pickup. I mean, it's really going to help them push this advantage even farther as they're now pulling 5k gold ahead. It just creeped up on us here.
Yeah, just great fight after great fight after great fight, and slowly Thunderducks just pulled themselves into the lead. Now with Baron buff, they're going to probably be looking to take turrets themselves instead of just trying to defend this mid turret. Dragon coming up in a minute 20, probably going to be able to pick that up if they can have their waves managed properly. We'll have to see. Braum trying to get the wards into the Thunderducks jungle here. Devmaster J looking to get his own wards down. Preparation for Dragon. But we're going to have to see. Top lane pushing fairly okay. Both top laners do have their TPs available. They can split push. GP, a very strong split pusher. Now he does have that Infinity Edge Triforce. I don't know if Olaf is going to be able to handle him with just that Randuin's and Black Cleaver. Using those Baron empowered minions, going to be able to push that bottom wave and might be able to distract Land Before Time, giving his team the free dragon as they go B and get ready for this.
No, yeah, I mean, the waves are in a very good spot again for Thunderducks here as they are pushing in the Land Before Time's base here, but looks like they're going to push out the top wave. Hecarim again going for the Titanic Hydra. He's really all about that damage. Doesn't want to have to build any defensive stats. Wants to be able to blow up that Kog'Maw, which, I mean, it's been paying off. The Kog'Maw is 2, 7, and 4, so, I mean, that CS advantage isn't doing much when he's out of the fight before it even starts. So really great play for this Hecarim to just go for the full assassination build once the Gangplank ult comes in, does the true damage. Once the Victor ult, laser, and pretty much everything about his combo comes in, and they're going to pick up another dragon here. So even though Land Before Time did have the amazing objective control in the early game, it's really falling apart in the late game here as they had the 3 dragons, and now Thunderducks have picked up 2 on their own after that point. So it's just really catching up to them right here.
Yeah, and now Sivir has that IE static shiv. Gangplank with those barrels. They're just going to shove these turrets, or these waves right into the turret. We're going to have to see if Land Before Time has an engage of their own. Braum does, or sorry, Nunu does pop the Righteous Glory, but his team isn't able to follow up. No engage here. We're going to have to see. Lots of time. The waves not really pushing in mid or top. Might slowly start pushing their way. It looks like top is going to start pushing for Land Before Time. They don't really have the waves to manage the split push, but the Onslaught of Shadows goes in, not connecting with anyone. The GP ulti, though, doing a lot of damage. Devmaster J goes in with a headbutt pulp, a lot of low health bars for Land Before Time. The Victor does pick up a kill. Nunu is very low, double kill for Taeyong. He's going to go for the triple. He does go in, he picks up another kill. Sorry, Beastness going now. He picks himself up a kill. The Sivir getting a kill herself. Will they be able to catch on the Olaf? Metaphor was that kill. Does use his devastating charge as well as the flash. They ace the Land Before Time, only losing 2 members. And they should be able to pick up an inhibitor here and go B and get ready for the next push.
No, yeah, I mean, Thunderducks, that was a great play from the Metaphor, knowing exactly what he's capable of on this Hecarim, knowing exactly when to dive the tower, when to pull out, and then go back in. He's able to do a lot of work in these team fights here. I mean, GP also doing a lot of damage, having that Triforce, having the Infinity Edge, and he's building some defense now, so that's going to be great. And I believe GP did go with the Raise Morale upgrade onto his ult, so I mean that's even going to be helping with the, as it is noted in Twitch chat as I read it now, but still, it's going to help out the team in the team fight, as well as if he would have gone for Death's Daughter too, or the other upgrade that would have done more damage. But this is helping for the Hecarim engages. This is helping with the Sivir. This is helping with everything else that they've built towards this. So it's really just helping more of the team with his GP, as he does finish the Frozen Heart, so he's going to be able to even slow down this Kog'Maw a little bit more, as he's hoping to get right in that aura range.
Yeah, and I mean, Kog'Maw had such a lead in the early game. You really thought he was going to outscale this Sivir so hard, but then again, we look at it. It's just a Sivir comp. You got that ulti, you help your team out. Beastness really living up to his name on this GP. Those ultis have been the great initiator with Metaphor following in. Neither of those two have died yet, being a part of a majority of their team's kills. And Thunderducks just keep finding these great fights. I'm not sure they're going to be able to keep this Kog'Maw alive, as this damage is going to get greater and greater. Victor putting on a lot of damage himself, and you can see Thunderduck's not afraid to tower dive and go after this protect the Kog'Maw comp.
No, yeah, I mean, really the only thing keeping this Kog'Maw in this is his huge CS advantage, which is exactly 100 on top of the Sivir. But she hasn't died nearly as much. She's actually got a kill on him, as well as a lot of assists. So she's got the crits, she's got the armor pen, she's got the attack speed as well. So she's just going to be able to do her job, sit in the backline, put out a lot of DPS, as, I mean, those two damage carries, the Hecarim and the GP, are just going to be able to do as much work as they want. And that tower is going down extremely fast. Not a lot they can do about it. They're probably going to just try and push out this mid tower, as the GP is split pushing in the top lane. So whether they're going to draw attention either way, we're going to have to wait and see. But they might try and set up some vision in between those two lanes here.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. At this point, Gangplank is so fed, I don't think anyone's going to be able to deal with this split push. On top, you have the Victor and the Sivir, who are just going to shove those waves to the turret. And because they have so much invested into this Protect the Kog'Maw, I'm not sure they're going to be able to deal with an attack on two fronts. We'll have to see. They might not even be able to contest the Baron unless that inhibitor comes up soon. And if it does, Thunderducks might just look to grab the inhibitor, grab mid inhibitor, go grab Drag, go grab Baron. They have complete control of this game. And the LandBeforeTime is going to have to start playing a very reactive type style.
No, yeah, I mean, LandBeforeTime's really on the back foot here. They're pushed in their base. They have an inhib down. They're pushed up all the way to their base, their inhibitor towers. As Baron's coming up in 30 seconds, I don't know if they can really contest this without risking losing their base. I mean, GP's TP is up, so he can go split push whenever he wants, and he can come back into the team fight right away. So we're just going to have to wait and see what LandBeforeTime decides to do, whether they decide to just go all in for this, or if they're just going to play it safe and just give up the Baron.
Yeah, blue buff stolen away from the Lulu, so she's not going to be able to spam those glitter lances, get those help picks, that Whimsy, making that Kog'Maw kind of an unstoppable beast. But the Zeke's Heartbringer, we're going to have to see if it comes into play. He does have the Last Whisper BF Sword, going to start working towards that Infinity Edge to get those crits. But Thunderducks just turn towards Baron. We'll have to see if they turn around. The Gravity Field is placed down to try and zone the team. Nunu definitely trying to get in there. The TP comes out. The Onslaught of Shadows does go in. The GP ulti. A lot of damage coming down. Beastness, however, takes down the Nunu before he gets a full channel. Olaf runs through the backline, does get the Victor. This is looking very good for LandBeforeTime. A lot of damage coming down. Somehow Kog'Maw still alive in the backline. Kaladir still trying to chase. The Lulu still is alive. They're going to put down a lot of damage here on Devmaster Jace, and they have the 2v2. Is it enough, though? That is one tanky Olaf putting down a lot of damage. Beastness going down for the first time, and LandBeforeTime finding their stride here and acing Thunderducks while they try and do Baron.
Yeah, I don't know. That fight just got very split up. I mean, some people had very different priorities here. There was, yeah, Hecarim dove in, Alistar flashed in, and then the Kog'Maw was just doing work in that backline, just chunking everyone out. And then the Olaf came in later on, TP'd in, and he was just able to clean that up afterwards. I mean, they need to have the focus with Thunderducks, but so far, I mean, they're still in the game. Obviously, they have an 8k gold lead right now. It's just whether or not LandBeforeTime can really capitalize on those mistakes. As I mean, Dragon's up right now. It looks like that's what they're going to try and go for here, as they're pinging it out with the Nunu, with the Olaf. But I mean, Thunderducks are making their way down there, so I mean, they're going to be able to chunk them out of this. Going to pick up the Scuttle Crab too. So we're going to have to. I mean, I wonder if the rest of the teams are going to join them here, if they're just going to sit around and farm up.
Yeah, LandBeforeTime definitely trying to get that 4th Dragon advantage. Thunderducks do have the gold advantage. Don't really want to give up that 4th Dragon for free. However, Gangplank is not very close. Does have his TP and his ulti available. The ulti is thrown down on Dragon. LandBeforeTime does start retreating. The Sivir ulti is popped. They decide to finish Dragon and then reinitiate. Hecarim, Onslaught of Shadows onto the Olaf and the Kog'Maw, and Kog'Maw and Olaf are deleted by the Gravity Field and the Wombo combo from the Chaos Storm. Victor coming up huge, and Taeyong showing the young Victor, man. After the nerfs, people were questioning whether he's good, but that scaling sure coming in, and they turn their eyes towards Baron.
No, yeah, I mean, it should be a pretty easy pickup as GP is going to split push in that bot lane. They can't just let him go on his own, so they're going to have to give this Baron up, but that's also going to give GP some empowered minions, so he's just going to be able to keep going there as only Lulu and Nunu are hanging around there to stop this GP. So I think he's going to actually try and keep going a little bit further towards this. But yeah, great fight from Thunderducks there as they just completely wipe out the Kog'Maw. Didn't even give him a chance to put out any damage in that fight. That was huge.
Yeah, Devmaster J actually landing a lot of great headbutt pulve combos, really locking down those targets, letting the follow-up CC come through. And you can see the Hecarim Onslaught of Shadows knocking back the two carries, and then Sivir and Victor just completely destroying them with damage. Now with GP, with Baron buff, they can put him in another lane, split push. The rest of them go for that open inhibitor. And this should be fairly easy pushing unless LandBeforeTime has a really great initiate and can really find their fight and pull themselves back into this game once again.
We're going to have to just see how this next team fight goes, because I really think that's what it's hinging on. So far, I mean, if they can get engages, the Thunderducks, if they can get engages like they've been having in those last couple fights there, absolutely. But if they can't get the right focus in the right places, it might just be that for them. I mean, LandBeforeTime is really good at capitalizing on these mistakes if they are available. So Thunderducks just need to make sure that they don't have a chance to get back into this game, because it's getting so late into this game at 41 minutes here with this Kog'Maw sitting on over 300 CS that it might not matter what his KDA is. He's going to have the items, and so he'll just be able to just shred through the team. So it's getting to the point where the gold advantage isn't going to be mattering near as much, but just gonna have to wait and see. Guardian Angel coming out for the GP, so he's hoping to, you know, really pump out the damage. Even if he goes down, he's gonna come back again. This is gonna be a split pushing threat as he's gonna be hoping to chunk out the Olaf, who's going with a lot of armor here, going with the Dead Man's Plate, going with the Randuin's Omen, and just hoping to, you know, deter this gangplank as the Righteous Glories pop from Nunu, and they're going hard onto the team, but they peel off here as they don't have quite the follow-up that they would have hoped. The GP is just gonna pick up his inhibitor, and he's ignoring the Olaf. He doesn't even know he's there. Yeah, so great pickup from the Thunderducks there. Great having the GP split push. He's a fantastic split pusher. I don't know if you would have watched the EU LCS finals there. Soaz carrying game 1 of that series. Oh, the Devmaster J going a little too hard. Not all the communication there as they are going in initiation now. Shield's coming out onto the Kog'Maw, keeping him alive this time. He's able to put out a lot of damage, but Sharptooth going in hard. Lulu ult's going to save his life, though. Metaphor going in. Oh, he's going to die, though. GP coming in, going to clean this up. Wow, GP's damage is unreal as he pulls up the Kog'Maw. Oh, but Olaf is going to come in and clean this up on the other side of that. GP, not a lot he can do. GA is going to be popped, but he's just coming back to his death. Yeah, not a lot he can do about that Olaf there. Olaf's just going to get him with the axes and knock him down.
And just a miscoordination there. Devmaster J going in for the flash pulve and actually not landing it on anyone. And LandBeforeTime recognizes that and punishes them for it right away. You see, as soon as he misses that, they turn, they kill him, and they go hard for those kills. They do, however, Thunderducks do pick up that open inhibitor bot lane. Might not be enough to do work. We're at 3 dragons apiece. Really, the gold lead at this point not really mattering. Teams just finding the right engage for whichever team they are and really punishing the other person for it. And LandBeforeTime with a really great defense there, only giving up that open inhibitor, keeping the turret, and just having a very nice pick.
No, yeah, I mean, the only thing that's really letting Thunderducks make these mistakes and stay in the game is that inhibitor. Having that down, keeping the pressure on the bot side of the map, not letting LandBeforeTime really leave the base completely unguarded. Keeping them a little bit scared of the split pushing gangplank. It's gonna keep Thunderducks in this game. Just, you know, that's some early game advantage that they would have picked up there. But yeah, I mean, if they can't find the right fights, then this game isn't gonna go terribly their way. As Olaf's getting extremely tanky, picking up a Spirit Visage now, as well as Nunu. He went with the Randuins there, and he's also going to be building more defense as he picks up a Ruby Crystal. Just even more tankiness coming out from the front line.
Yeah, I mean, as much as Business is doing damage on that Gangplank, Kaladier's Olaf really starting to take off in these late game team fights. He showed up late last time and his team still managed to keep ahead. I feel like ThunderDuck's success completely relies on them getting a really great engage on Kog'Maw. That's how they've been winning all their fights. They've been landing the headbutt Paul. They've been getting the onslaught of shadows onto the Lulu, onto the Kog'Maw, blowing either one of them up before that Lulu ulti comes out. They missed it there and they got punished for it. They're going to have to be very careful, I think, until that Alistar flashes up, unless they can find something that's not underneath the turret. Because this Kog'Maw has his Infinity Edge finished, 6 and 11, doesn't matter. That Harbinger proc, you've got Pix, you've got Whimsy, that Kog'Maw is going to be flying, but that Victor damage is also going to be coming out huge as he has maxed out that Hex score.
No, yeah, level 18, so that Hex score is going to give him that 180 AP. So that is a huge item in the late game for him here. And as well as he's building hard AP, he's gone the Rabadons, he's gone the Void Staff, and he's got a second needlessly large rod there, and he's going to be building that towards another AP, like heavy AP item. Whether that's going to go for the Rylai's, Luden's, not too sure yet. Going to have to see where that finishes up, but they're going to clean up the Dragon here, probably uncontested.
Yeah, they do grab their 4th Dragon here, and after 7 Dragons in 45 minutes, we still don't have a 5th one. But being down 3-0 and picking up 4 in a row, ThunderDuck's being very consistent on picking this Dragon up as soon as it comes up. We have Baron coming up in a minute. I feel like LandBeforeTime really needs to try and contest this. With that bottom inhibitor down, it might be a little hard, but they have to definitely do something. They've won fights with ThunderDucks having Baron before, but this GP split push is very efficient. But now that this Olaf is starting to scale with those items, he actually might be able to contest this Gangplank.
No, yeah, he did go with a elixir here, so he's going to be even a little bit tankier, a little bit bigger. So he's going to be, able to take on this GP split push, I believe. But again, if they give up that Baron for nothing, then that might put the nail in the coffin and really seal the deal for this game for the ThunderDucks. We're just going to have to wait and see in 25 seconds which team decides to set up for it first. Lots of vision around that area. As you can see, it's pretty much lit up like Christmas over there. Lots of blue wards, not quite a bit of pink wards, so we're going to have to see which team wants to go in there and clear it out first. But as far as it goes, it's still a pretty no man's land over there. But looks like red team is the first one to make the move onto it, as they're going to push out the top lane, get that going, so they get the map pressure on that side of the map. As Baron is now live and red team is capitalizing on that.
Yeah, the 5-barrel pop there by GP. I'll have to see if LandBeforeTime can get it, as ThunderDucks are absolutely crushing. They get Baron. Will they turn for the fight? We'll have to see. The Nunu ulti does go out. It is cancelled early. Braum ulti coming out. The Chaos Storm does go down. Gravity Field. Alistar dropping very low. He is picked up. However, LandBeforeTime very low. The Kog'Maw just attacking away. No one is on him right now. And Lulu is just shielding him. He is doing a ton of damage. Harbinger is proc. He's running with that Whimsy. He does get a help picks, but he is caught in the Gravity Field, and they do take him down. And ThunderDucks might be able to ace them here and win the game. The Lulu barely surviving with that barrier, but I don't think it will be enough. GP TP's in, gets that bottom inhibitor, and that was just LandBeforeTime being a little late to that Baron fight. And they just bursted everyone. The Kog'Maw maybe overstepping a little bit with that Harbinger, and I don't think Lulu is going to be able to save it. I think this is game.
No, yeah, but I mean, to be fair, that Kog'Maw was putting out as much damage as he possibly could have. That's going to be game for the ThunderDucks there. Great game. Very hard fought. 47 minutes and 59 seconds in here. Wow. That was 3 dragons to 4, 3 towers to 9. Huge gold. This is a great game to watch.
Yep, ThunderDucks just, they started off slow, but man, those engages. That GP ult into the Onslaught of Shadows, doing so much work to pull themselves back into that game. Very close game though. It was very slow at the start, but man, those team fights were so well played all the way through. Unfortunately, Kog'Maw just stepping a little forward there, getting caught. But I feel like only running the 2 damage threat comp as you go late game, you're not going to have a lot of success. They had GP, they had Victor, they had Sivir. You're really relying on just the Kog'Maw and Olaf to get in that back lane. Once they dropped Olaf at the very end of the game there, I don't think there was much that LandBeforeTime could have done.
No, yeah, I mean, fantastic game all around. So, thank you guys very much for tuning in to the SKL qualifying matches. This is Group B again. Qualifiers will continue on tomorrow. Thanks again for tuning in. First night, I think it went pretty well.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. We should have both streams running tomorrow. Games should start at 7. I believe we will be running bracket D and E tomorrow. So hopefully you guys will tune in. Group C will be streamed for sure.
No. I screwed up. I think it's
Oh, sorry. Group D and Group E should both be streamed tomorrow. I'm not sure if both will be commentated, but feel free. We love the support. Thanks, guys, for showing up. We will continue tomorrow at 7. Hope to see you there. Thanks for tuning in.